Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mark from the DeFi Degenerate. I am going to be sharing an article that I thought was really cool. What I would like for you guys is to stay tuned. I'm not a financial advisor, by the way, but I do love crypto news, so I'm going to share what I find important, what I find to be interesting. I'm sharing with you guys. So let's get into it. So, what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about predictions for web3 in the metaverse in 2022. So, I think in 2022 is going to be a massive year for the web3 space, technology, and this is going to determine the landscape of things. So, let's talk about it. So, biggest thing, in my opinion, will be play-to-earn gaming, where you're playing and you're earning as you're playing. Pretty self-explanatory, but most games up until this point were not of that sort at all. This is why e-gaming has become esports. E-gaming has become a real fad and a real industry as of lately because people want to be able to monetize their skills, especially in this department. So, let's get into it. Play-to-earn gaming will dominate the Web3 landscape. Plain and simple. Play-to-earn, which could also be considered P2E, and there's an acronym of it, P2E, gaming as a business model. Let gamers earn rewards for playing games. Crypto has disrupted this model, and we've seen games like Axie Infinity allow players from countries like the Philippines and Venezuela to make a living, where inflation is, not so much Philippines, but Venezuela, inflation has destroyed their entire currency, 60,000% inflation. Can't even buy bread with like 10,000 Venezuelan dollars. It's crazy. But let's keep getting into it. An incredible amount of money, talent, and focus has shifted to the P2E space in 2021, and we anticipate 2022 being a massive year for blockchain gaming. There are a ton of promising P2E developers in the gaming platforms, and more that will emerge in 2022. Okay, so let's talk about it. FinTech will embrace the metaverse. Mark Goldberg's partner at Index Ventures, and that, as time spent in the metaverse explodes, so will the complexity of our financial assets. The merger of virtual and fiat wealth will redefine every service offered by a traditional bank. So I want you to imagine this. Imagine a world where you can get a credit card secured by your portfolio of NFTs, secured by your portfolio of crypto, any of your assets that you have in your crypto portfolio. Your mortgage application takes into account your Robux as personal assets, or your income from play-to-earn games like Axie Infinity verifies you're a trust-ready tenant on a lease. Pretty insane to think about it, but cool stuff. So, and then let's think about this. The piping between Web 2 and Web 3 is coming. Moving forward, moving funds seamlessly between Web 2 and Web 3 within Web 3 has a long way to go. We expect some of the greatest builders in the world, such as the teams at Stripe, to laser focus on an initiative in 2022. So, Web 2, in a nutshell, I've discussed it in a video. In a nutshell, Web 2 is when institutions can lock up your data and then use it to profit off of it. In Web 3, we decentralize that. We decentralize that aspect of it where you can profit off of your data, and they're not the gatekeepers of it. So, some of the biggest fintechs of the last decade created an infrastructure for the traditional finance, such as Plaid, Stripe. I'm going to include them down below and in the video. Unit_co, Persona IDV, Use LOA, and Kodak Data, making it easy to build products and move money across the web. But the friction between Web 2 and Web 3 is still significant. From transaction to gas fees to onboarding, it's rather painful. Let's talk about it. Crypto will disrupt crowdfunding. Places like GoFundMe, there's a crowdfunding, other places like Kickstarter. Crowdfunding on the internet is very familiar idea. We're used to centralized services such as Kickstarter, like I said, GoFundMe, Indiegogo, but we believe that 2022 will be the year where we see crypto crowdfunding platforms begin to infiltrate the mainstream. So let's take this into account. Crypto enables uncensorable crowdfunding and voting. Why is this good? The world is about to gasp at the level of creativity and change that spawns. Ideally, when crowdfunding gets onto the blockchain, there's going to be an unbelievable amount of transparency onto what your funds go into, how you want them distributed, at what point you want them distributed. You get a lot more, you could say, control over what you do with your money and how you want it. Plus, you get to see in open source, you see in open ledger how these contracts interact. And then there's a voting situation where on these crowdfunding platforms, let's say the person that owns the most of, that owns a decent amount of the crowdfunding platform's token or DAO can have voting rights. So then a group of community of people can vote on how that money gets distributed, how fees are distributed, and how it distributes from basically 1% all the way to 99%. How for all fees and all that good stuff. So, and a person on Twitter, his name is Minds, @Minds. I'll tag him down below. Has some really great content. I'm basically talking about one of his tweets. And of course, our shameless final prediction is that metaverse will become, MV3 will become one of the great next franchises and IP, which is MV3, which is at Meta V3 VRSE. It's an Instagram channel, has close to 1 million followers. Really great. I love their content. I'm kind of sharing a lot of their content over. And tell me in the comments down below, share some of your predictions for the space in the 2022, and what do you think the environment is going to be like? Comment, like, share, and I'll be pinning the favorites. If, like always, please, if you have any feedback for me, if you want to include anything that I left out, share it. I'd love to hear it. And as always, I love to hear the feedback from you guys. If you want to see more content like this, look at this video here. And yeah, see you soon. This is Mark from the DeFi Degenerate. Be great.